Welcome, parents and students, to the Singapore Maritime Academy's virtual Early Admission Exercise, or EAE, webinar. My name is Captain Brendan Roch, and I'll be your MC for this afternoon. Once again, thank you for joining us for our live webinar today with our staff from the Singapore Maritime Academy, or SMA in short. We are one of the schools under the Singapore Polytechnic and one of the first schools to be established in SP back in 1957. Today, we are excited to share with you on what the maritime industry has to offer, the career prospects in this vibrant industry, and how we in SMA prepare our students to be part of the global maritime talent. Not only that, we are privileged to have our course chairs from the 3 full-time diploma courses joining us for this afternoon's webinar, and they too will provide you with insights into their respective courses and how you can better prepare for the EAE selection interviews. Before we begin the sharing from our panelists, let us watch a short video on SMA.
The maritime industry is important because over 80% of the world trade is carried by sea. The maritime industry is seen as an important pillar that continues to drive both the local and global economy. Singapore's strategic location and the contribution of maritime professionals, along with its highly skilled workforce, have brought us into where we are today, a global hub port and a leading international maritime center.
The Academy has been providing maritime education, training and nurturing young school leavers for the past 63 years. And this is through our 3 courses, namely the Diploma in Nautical Studies, Diploma in Marine Engineering, as well as Diploma in Maritime Business. Our lecturers are able to guide the students through the various sort of career path in the industry, leading to being captain of a ship, chief engineer of a ship, and also officers in the shore-based industry. Our students are exposed to experiential learning through the use of the waterfront facility, industrial attachment, and as we grow and innovate, the student will have the opportunity to be immersed in state-of-the-art technologies that we have in campus.
Here they provide you the foundation, and certainly with the commitment of the lecturers and the facilities, it has definitely given me an edge in terms of honing my skills and craft as a marine chief engineer. Today I'm a technical superintendent with Pacific Carriers Limited. So the maritime sector will never be a sunset industry. We are resilient and always rapidly hiring. People may not see the glamour in maritime, but if you take the leap, you'll definitely end up in a highly rewarding career.
I hope the video had provided a good introduction of Singapore Polytechnic and also the courses that we offer here in the Singapore Maritime Academy. Now, let me tell you more about SMA. Singapore Polytechnic was established in 1954 and was the first polytechnic to be set up in Singapore. Our mission is, as a polytechnic for all ages, we prepare our learners to be life ready, work ready, world ready for the transformation of Singapore, while our vision is a caring community of inspired learners committed to serve with mastery. This is evident in our curriculum in all of our courses, which have been purposely curated to ensure that SP graduates are not only life ready, work ready, and world ready, but also contribute back to the community, continually upgrade themselves, and are masters in their own professions. The Singapore Maritime Academy is the only school amongst the 5 polytechnics in Singapore that offers a complete range of maritime courses, which are mainly maritime business, nautical studies, and marine engineering. Our graduates make up the talent pool for Singapore's maritime industry, which has over 5,000 maritime establishments from various sectors and employs 170,000 personnel. Singapore Polytechnic began providing maritime training in Singapore back in 1957 when it took over the responsibility of navigational classes conducted by the Sailors Institution. The underlying objective of producing seagoing officers who can operate ships in a competent and safe manner, and who will also acquire the necessary experience and communication skills to become captains in the maritime industry. However, over time, the expanse of the training had evolved to include engineering as well as business aspects. When the Singapore Maritime Academy was formed on the 1st of June in the year 2000, it inherited a rich history from its 2 merged partners, which are the National Maritime Academy, which at that time was under the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, and the Department of Maritime Technology and Transportation. The combined experience of more than 80 years in maritime education and training has made SMA an established maritime school from the day of its inception. SMA takes in 120 students yearly for the Diploma in Marine Engineering, 40 students for the Diploma in Nautical Studies, and another 120 students for the Diploma in Maritime Business courses. These are through various admission exercises, which namely are the Joint Admission Exercise, Direct Admission Exercise, and Early Admission Exercises. SMA2 also offers other part-time CET courses under MOE, which are usually conducted in the evenings. As mentioned, SMA offers a comprehensive suite of industry and professional courses, such as the Certificate of Competency courses for both deck and engine officers, which is required for those who would like to be working on board foreign-going ships. We also offer short courses for industry professionals who are already in our maritime sector, such as SCCW courses. The Singapore Maritime Academy also works very closely with the industry so as to provide tailor-made courses for the staff in their various organizations. SMA keeps up with the emerging industry trends by offering new short courses such as the LNG bunkering course, and in collaboration with lead agencies and industry partners. As technology continues to be important for shipping lines and infrastructure for our industry, there is also unprecedented growth in the frequency, complexity, and severity of cyber attacks. SMA is also involved in the design, development, and delivery of Maritime cybersecurity courses. Singapore Polytechnic prides itself in providing an authentic learning environment. Hence, we work closely with the industry through various platforms such as internship, industry projects, and research collaborations. SMA students embark on a Skills Future initiative, enhanced internship, to ensure that they take on more meaningful work activities during their internship phases, including clearer learning outcomes, improved mentorship, and possibly even extended durations of industrial attachments. Each year, in the months of March and September, about 60 students from the Diploma in Maritime Business embark on their 6-month shore-based internship, and another 60 diploma students from the Nautical Studies course would embark on their 1-year sea training phase, while about 30 students from the Diploma in Marine Engineering would embark on their 6-month seagoing internship training. These industrial attachments will ensure that our graduates are ready to join the industry upon their graduation. SMA, with its long established history, is also recognized in the region and globally for its high standards and quality maritime education and training. SMA has received many awards throughout the years. Hence, you will be assured that the education you'll be receiving here will prepare you well for the industry and for your professional careers in our maritime sector. Our latest award is for the open category at the International Safety at Sea Awards in the year 2020. This award is a recognition by the industry of the excellent training that SMA delivers and also research involvement, particularly in the areas of maritime safety. This award will continue to spur SMA to further enhance our position in maritime training and education, as well as in areas of research of maritime safety. Before I move on to tell you more about the early admissions exercise, let us watch a video on the various tips to prepare for the EAE applications as well as the EAE interviews.
Hi, I am Liana Shamira, student from Diploma in Computer Engineering and got into the School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering via early admission exercise in 2019.
I am Danny Lee, course chair for Diploma in Aerospace Electronics and Diploma in Engineering with Business at School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering.
I'm Howie. I'm a Year 3 student studying Mechatronics and Robotics in the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering. And I entered in through early admission exercise in 2017.
I'm Madam Jenny Wee, a lecturer with the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering.
My name is Itai and I'm from Diploma in Maritime Business. I got into Singapore Maritime Academy via EAE in 2018.
I am Captain Savio Coutinho from the Singapore Maritime Academy. I'm here today to address some questions you may have on the early admission exercise. So let's start off.
Yes, and it's an indicator of your true interest and passion in the respective courses.
Of course you can. In fact, we recommend that you do that. You should choose 2 courses which are related to your area of interest. For instance, if you are interested in mechanical engineering, we recommend that you apply for 2 courses from the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering to show evidence of an interest in that area.
It's not a must to choose 3 courses. If you only have like 2 courses that you're interested in mind, you can just go ahead and apply for those 2 courses like I did. I chose Diploma in Maritime Business and Diploma in Marine Engineering. First, I did my research on the SP website and other marine-related websites regarding the 2 courses that I wanted to apply for. Then afterward, I drafted out a 600-character write-up detailing my passions and my aptitude for the courses that I was applying for.
A good write-up should include your achievements and learning experiences in the relevant area, as well as your career aspirations, perhaps indicating how the course will lead you to your ideal job when you graduate. As you may know, 600 characters for a write-up is not a lot, so be clear, be concise, and most importantly, be thoughtful.
No, they're not. At the Singapore Maritime Academy, the aptitude test consists of MCQ questions that are based on the knowledge of the maritime industry in Singapore and the relevant course you are applying. Do well in the aptitude tests and you get shortlisted for the interview stage.
In School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, the aptitude test includes questions on logical thinking, mathematics, and relevant topics on the specific course you are applying for.
It varies from course to course in the School of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering. For instance, if you are interested in a diploma in aeronautical engineering, then you are required to take an online quiz with questions related to aviation.
Like many other people, I was very nervous. So what I did was that I just put my best smile and tried to look as confident as possible. Not to worry, because the interviewers, they are actually very supportive. And interview only lasted for like 10 minutes or so. They asked me questions like, why did you want to come to this course? Is this course your first choice? And not to forget, please bring along your portfolio, because in case they ask, right, you can just do a mini presentation.
You may include academic transcripts, evidence of certain work that you may have done relevant to the course, or for our maritime related courses, you may have snippets or fun facts about the maritime industry which may demonstrate your interest and awareness of the course.
Young Engineers Award, Advanced Elective Modules, Competitions, and CCA in Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, such as Singapore Amazing Flying Machine Competition, Robot Cup Singapore Open, Robotic Club, and Infocom Club.
You can actually put your certificate of participation, your photographs of competitions you participated in, or even testimonials from the teachers who are in charge of your CCAs, which is relevant to your area of interest, or even applied learning program ALP, or even learning journeys which you participated in and which is related to your area of interest.
Early admission exercise is an aptitude-based admission exercise, so we will first look at your portfolio, followed by the relevant subjects, results to ensure that you can cope with the rigor of the course you are applying for.
Yes, please do not forget your portfolio if you have one. However, you can still explain the rationale behind your choices of courses. Perhaps you can use your relevant subjects as evidence.
The interviewers consist of a panel, normally of academic staff from the relevant school. For SMA, we will have 3 interviewers on the panel.
Start preparing yourself as early as possible to build up on your competency and confidence. You can make research on the internet for the knowledge and skills in the relevant areas, as well as latest news on the industry. Practice reading aloud and prepare the answers to the possible questions that may be asked during the interview. On the day of the interview, put on a neat and comfortable attire, preferably plain, no patterns, no bright colors, knee length, long sleeve, paired with a covered shoes. Be at least 5 minutes early to compose yourself. Be confident.
So it actually depends on your course interview panel. It can be conducted either in a group or individually. So for me, it was conducted by 2 lecturers interviewing me individually. Though it can be nerve-wracking at the start, maybe it's the first interview you had in a while, don't worry. The lecturers are definitely keen to hear your passion and interest about the course. So keep calm and speak the points you want to speak across. All the best.
At the interview, we are looking to see your passion and your suitability for the course. More specifically, are you able to communicate effectively? Do you have a confident disposition? Are you able to think on your feet? These are some of the things. And finally, most importantly actually, is have you got awareness of the course and the industry that you aspire to get into?
The interviewers basically look for authentic sharing of your passion and portfolio, and the showing of evidence.
We look for adaptability, how you articulate your thoughts, how you showcase your passion, how you demonstrate your understanding of your field of study that you're interested in, how you want to acquire skill sets from the course of study, why and how the course of study will enable you to prepare for your future journey like your career or further studies.
You can apply for all of our 3 courses at the Academy for early admission exercise, namely the Diploma in Maritime Business, the Diploma in Marine Engineering, and the Diploma in Nautical Studies. So all the very best in your EAE. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you have enjoyed that video, which showcased the early admission exercise process as well as the application procedures here at the Singapore Polytechnic. So I will now take you through on the early admission exercise. The first part that I will talk about is who is eligible to actually participate in this exercise. The EAE is open to O-level students, and these students must be registered to sit for and attempt their O-level examinations in this academic year of 2022, as well as for international students that are enrolled in government-aided and independent schools whom are registered to sit for the O-level exams in this academic year. The EAE exercise is also open to IT students who are in their final year for NITEC course in June or December 2022, as well as for higher NITEC courses in September 2022 or March 2023. So the months indicated here for IT students are actually the months of your completion of your course. Lastly, the EAE is also open to working adults who are Singapore citizens as well as permanent residents. However, you should have at least 2 years of relevant work experience in the required sector that you're applying for. For the early admissions exercise, the main objective is for us to understand and to observe our applicants who demonstrate a strong passion for the course that you apply for. Applicants are selected and assessed through various means, as shown on the slides here, in the form of individual portfolios, write-ups, as well as the conduct of aptitude tests and the answers to structured questions as well. In this slide, we are now looking at the admission criteria for the EAE. So firstly, the conditional offer is based on aptitudes, and however, a minimum entry requirement is a net ELR2B2 aggregate score of 26 points or better for GCE O-level examinations. And please understand that the minimum entry requirements must be met for the respective diploma courses that you are applying for. For higher NITEC students, it will be a minimum GPA of 2.0, as well as for higher NITEC students, it will be a minimum GPA of 3.5. As earlier mentioned, Singapore citizens and permanent residents with at least 2 years of relevant work experience are more than welcome to apply for our courses as well. The process to apply for under the early admission exercise is through the joint portal of Polytechnics in Singapore, and the URL is provided in this slide here. For the application process, you will have to prepare a few items. Firstly, you will have to carry out a 600-character write-up for the course that you're applying for. And apart from that, you'll be given an option to select the 3 preferred choices of the courses that you wish to apply for. A point to note is that all SMA courses are eligible for the early admission exercise, meaning all our 3 diploma, full-time diploma courses. And shortlisted candidates will be called up for an interview as part of our selection process. In this slide, you are looking at the application timeline for the early admission exercise, which is in fact taking into account the intake for the next academic year, which commences in April next year. For IT students, your application stage will be commencing next month between the 9th to the 15th of June. Likewise, for O-level students, it will be from the 23rd to the 29th of June. And lastly, for working adults, it will be from the 6th of June to the 3rd of July this year. After the application stage, the next stage will be the selection stage. So you will be notified if you have been shortlisted based on the course of your choice. And for IT students, the selection stage will be from the 4th of July to 30th of August. And this will be the same for O-level students as well as for working adults. After the selection stage or the selection process has been completed, the next stage would be the offer and acceptance stage. So for ITE as well as O-level students, the offer and acceptance stage will be between the 7th to the 12th of September this year. And for working adults, it will be from the 7th of September to the 14th of October this year. Should any of you wish to withdraw your application or your preference from any of the courses, the last stage is the withdrawal stage, which will be anytime between the 13th to the 14th of October this year. And this is applicable to both ITE and O-level students. So here are the possible outcomes that we can expect from the early admission exercise. The first outcome is based on the criteria that you have met and that you are accepted into the course. You have met the minimum entry requirements with a score of 26 points or better for your O-level score. You have been selected and shortlisted and your application process has gone well. You will be offered a confirmation from SP, and once you have accepted that confirmation, you'll be sent an enrollment package from Singapore Polytechnic. The second option is that when you have been accepted into the course, however, what happens is that you do not meet the minimum entry requirements for the course that you applied for. This will result in your offer being revoked. However, you still can apply for the course under the joint admission exercise next year in January. In the third scenario, whereby your outcome and your application has been rejected, you can look forward to apply for the same course next year during the joint admission exercise, which will be held in January 2023. I hope you now will have a better understanding on how to prepare for the EAE applications. If you have any questions, please submit your questions to the Zoom Q&A function, and we will get to your questions towards the end of this presentation. Many of you probably do not know that the maritime industry is a big part of our everyday lives. Almost everything that we use are brought into Singapore by sea. To know how important the maritime industry is to Singapore and the people who are working in this industry, let us watch the next video.
Every year, important products such as steel and cement come through our shores, making up the building blocks of Singapore's infrastructure. That's where we come in to ensure that operations are carried out efficiently around the clock.
I work in the heart of the action, and I love technical challenges. As engineers, we study our tools and innovate for greater performance.
I ensure that our ships are kept busy 365 days a year and our cargoes are shipped safely.
I coordinate the replenishment of provisions, change of crew, bunkering, and facilitate the ship's entry and departure from the port.
You may find me looking out for human capital trends or reaching out to schools to recruit the best cadets for the job.
As a post-fixture officer, you need to have a good grasp of the charter agreement. Miscalculations will cause delays and a financial cost.
We help clients create a framework for their needs and guide them along the way until the close of a transaction.
My role is ever evolving. I ensure adequate insurance coverage for our clients.
People often think that money is the greatest indicator of success, but it's actually about finding the right partners to work with. I believe that Maritime Singapore is here to stay, and that it's all about building a better future together.
What are the things that hold us back, that stop us from taking the plunge? What would you venture into if you had no fear? What would you see if you widened your scope and looked a little further? Over 80% of the world's trade is carried by sea. From the clothes we wear, to the food we eat, to the bricks and steel that build our homes, everything links back to the sea. Singapore is home to one of the busiest ports in the world, connected to 600 ports in over 120 countries, with more than 130,000 ships calling at our ports, handling several 100 million tons of cargo annually. And just think, you could be a part of this. Embracing the latest technologies, turning ideas into possibilities. We can redefine limits. So chart your own course in shipping, port, or maritime services and be part of a team that creates change, which connects countries and brings people from around the world together. Take the plunge and be part of something bigger today.
To kickstart the presentations for our 3 full-time maritime diploma courses, let me invite our first speaker, Captain Ho Tai Sang. Captain Ho is presently the course chair for the Diploma in Maritime Business course. He will provide more insights into what the course is about, the careers that you can move on to upon graduation, and how you can prepare yourself for the EAE selection process. Before I call on Captain Ho to give his presentation, let us watch a video on the DMB course.
Hi, I'm Miranda. I'm a Year 1 student from the Diploma in Maritime Business at the Singapore Maritime Academy, or SMA for short. It is one of the schools at the Singapore Polytechnic. I decided to join the Maritime course after my O-levels as I aspire to be a maritime lawyer or a shipbroker. My father is a harbour pilot. I'm inspired by his stories growing up, and he will always tell me about the different ships that he has piloted from day to day, and also meeting different mariners from all over the world. To Singapore being one of the busiest ports in the world and a maritime hub, I know that there will be many great opportunities for my career. Not only is SP the only polytechnic to offer maritime courses, but it also has a partnership with the University of Plymouth in the UK, which will allow me to get my degree in just 1 year. This gives me a huge competitive advantage over my peers. I have been awarded the SSA YEG Maritime 1 scholarship. It is indeed an honor, and I look forward to contributing to the industry after I graduate. Studying at SMA has really been an awesome journey. We have really cool spaces where our classes are conducted, such as the Maritime Business Center, and the lessons really prepare us for the various roles in the maritime industry. My lecturers who are from the industry are still working in maritime companies. They are not only knowledgeable about the industry, but what is more important is that they are keen to share their knowledge. They definitely make a difference to our learning journey. The highlight of this course is that it not only covers business modules such as finance, accounting, and law, we also study maritime-related modules. I appreciate that learning does not only take place in classrooms. Do you know that SMA students have a waterfront training facility called the Poly Marina, where some modules are being taught? Well, if that isn't cool enough for you, SMA students also have our own training boat called the SP Dover. Studying at SP is a unique experience. I can still remember my first day in school and just being overwhelmed by how big the school is, with the many social spaces and food courts. However, despite it being such a big place, you really feel a sense of belonging here as an SP student. If given the opportunity, I will definitely choose DMB again because of all the wonderful people here, from my lecturers to my classmates, as we work together towards our goals in the maritime industry. Hope to see you at SMA.
Hi, good afternoon. Let me start by saying that this diploma in maritime business is a maritime business management course, and also our graduates are highly sought after by the companies in the maritime industry. The course highlights is that this is a very practice-oriented that links theory and practices to hands-on training, case studies, as well as field visits to shipping companies to get a first-hand experience by interacting with the practitioners in the or professionals in the shipping companies. So our pedagogy is using a case method. There are 37 modules in our maritime business course, or DMB in short, whereby more than half of the modules are using case studies. This program, DMB program, prepares you to be versatile and also to gain employment upon graduation in the many sectors. So I can say it's a multifaceted sectors in the maritime industry, ranging from ship management to ship brokering to terminal operators such as PSA or Port Authority, MPA, or some surveying companies in the cargo surveying or the classification societies, that is the classification survey of ships. The most what do you call the students when they graduate from this program, they will say that the 6 months shore-based internship during their year 2 provide them with the motivation to spur them on in the course. So they have the first-hand experience and the relatedness of the course to what they are studying. Next, please. DMB graduates are highly sought after by the following shipping companies. So the aim of the course is to train our students to be a junior executive in any of these sectors in the maritime industry. Like I say, ranging from ship managers to ship brokers to ship agents, even in the logistic and supply chain management, as well as the terminal operators and regulatory authorities. So many of our graduates, upon graduation, are able to straight away take up the job with minimum the learning curve, shorten their learning curve, and in a very short time they're able to take on managerial positions such as supervisors as well as managerial position, and some even taking higher responsibilities as managers. These are the sea transport sectors. I think you are quite by now you should know that our course, our industry is about the ships, it's about the cargo, it's also about the maritime personnel. So in other words, we are managing the ships, we are managing the cargo, as well as we are managing the maritime personnel. And they are also branching to shipping and arbitration, as well as ship financing and ship bunkering. So as you know, ships need to be refueled, and Singapore is one of the major refueling ports or bunkering ports in the world. Next, please. Upon graduation, so our students are able to apply to local universities as well as our IHL Institute of Higher Learning, our partners overseas in UK, as well as in Australia, yeah, as well as in Seoul, Korea, as well as State University of New York. There is also one particular program that I want to highlight is the work study program. Yeah, next. So these are the few, of course, the local universities like Nanyang, NTU, NUS, SMU. These are the three university whereby our student can pursue maritime studies program. In other words, continuation from our DMB course. Yeah. Of course, NTU has a BSc in Maritime Studies, also BSc in Maritime Studies with business major. These are 4 years program. It's a direct honors program. Yeah, 4 years. NUS it's 3 years. If it is honors, it will be 4 years. Yeah, usually it's a business program. They also have maritime law and shipping, as well as in SMU we do have business management, as well as the business course, Bachelor of Business with the Maritime Economics track. Of course, this is about direct progression. Of course, there's also other faculties where our students can apply to with a good GPA. Upon graduation, they can apply into humanities, they can apply into Infocom, they can even apply to LLB. Yeah, so the taking is there. Yeah, so the many courses, faculties that our students are able to apply to upon graduation. Yeah, next. These are our overseas partners. Yeah, that is the University of Plymouth, whereby Orenda just now in the video says that upon graduation in SMA, they will pursue a degree program, which is only 1 year. That is right. Yeah, they can progress to do a Bachelor of Science, even it's an honors program in maritime business and logistics, or maritime business and maritime law, or even just international supply chain and shipping management. There's another university in also our partners in Solent at Southampton. Our graduates, our SMA graduates, we're also able to pursue a BSc honors program in maritime business as well as shipping and port management. It's also a 1 year program. In other words, our SMA 3 years diploma program is equivalent to their 3 years in UK. So our graduates will just go over there to top up 1 year to finish the degree program. The other one I talked about was the State University of New York. They're also offering a maritime program that is on international transportation and trade. It's a BSc program. But this course, this degree program is about a year and a half. Yeah, it's a year and a half program. Yeah. Next, this is the one that I want to highlight is the work study program, whereby upon graduation from SMA, SP, our students will be gainfully employed by PSA, the terminal operators, as well as Jurong Port. So as employee of these terminal operators, they will do a 1 year program. It's a joint collaboration with SMA, SP, to do this specialist diploma in port management and operation. It's a 12 months work study program. And the program will be taught by our SMA lecturers, as well as the senior executives from PSA, as well as from Jurong Port. So they will be, upon graduation from this, upon obtaining this specialist diploma, the student, the graduates, right, will get promoted from a trainee ops supervisors to a senior ops supervisors, from a trainee assistant ops executive to assisting ops executive at Jurong Port. Okay, so this program is quite popular with some of our graduates who wanting to have a career as terminal operators. As all of us might have already know, that Singapore PSA is one of the major transshipment hub in the world. Actually, we are number one, if not very close second. In terms of terminal operation. Okay, next please. What you will study, of course, earlier I said 37 modules, and we map up these 37 modules across 18 generic skill competencies, ranging from communication, computational thinking, creative thinking, to teamwork, transdisciplinary thinking, to virtual collaboration. These three, of course, across the 18 generic skills, three of these skills are top. That is the decision making, global mindset, as well as sense making. What do you mean by sense making? Sense making is our graduates are able to organize and analyze data and information, detect patterns and trends to gain insights for decision making. So decision making is about ability to choose a course of action from various alternatives using a reasoned process to achieve intended goals. Okay, of course, a global mindset. Global mindset is about awareness of diversity across global cultures and markets, and also seeking opportunities to adopt successful practices and ideas. So you can see that across 18 generic skills competencies, our students will be able to acquire over the 3 years program with us. But these are the three that stand out in terms of the GSC skill competencies. Okay, let's look at our DMB course structures. Okay, so like all courses in SP, it is a 3 years program. We are one of the two in SP whereby the internship program is in year 2. So it is intentionally put into year 2 for a simple reason is that we want the students to be motivated and engaged. And after year 1, it's some fundamental knowledge, and then in year 2, they will have some form of real life knowledge. They work in the shipping companies, and then in year 3, then they'll be highly motivated to complete the course. That is in year 2. And of course, you can see that our modules are spread across 6 semesters. And the year 1 modules are very fundamental. Core modules are highlighted, of course, it's in white. And those in greens are our institutional module, which is language. Institutional modules. And then those in blue is our communication modules. And those in gray is our maths and science module, ranging from business statistics, IT and data analysis for business, as well as in year 2, we do have a business data analytics. These are the skill set that is current skill set that is required for the current shipping practices in the shore companies. I want to highlight about this elective. So our students are required to complete at least 3 elective modules in year 2 as well as in year 3. Okay, in order to graduate with the course. And we do have two what do you call that? There's option for internship. One is a 3 elective, and the other one is a 5 elective. Let me highlight that for 3 elective, the students will have to complete 26 weeks internship. In other words, every day, for 5 days in a week, right? They have to be in the company. And to graduate with the diploma, they have to complete 3 electives, 1 in year 2 and 2 in year 3. There's also another option whereby our students can take in 5 electives. That is doing 20 weeks of internship. That is Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday, students have to come back to do 2 electives. During the internship period. That is on a Friday. So all in, there will be 5 electives. We'll talk more about this. You have any question on this lah. But generally, our students, only about 10% of our students will take up the 5 electives. But to graduates with the diploma, you need to have at least 3 electives lah, if you're opting for the 26 weeks internship. Okay, so year 2, it will be slightly more in-depth with regards to the module. You can see that we are building up the foundation in year 1, and then year 2 is medium. I would say it's a medium. Then in year 3, whereby it will be very deep learning. So the modules will be a bit heavy, like maritime law, marine offshore, marine insurance, supply chain, ship management, and so on. Okay, so that is the 6 semesters over the 3 years period. I think you are more interested in what is the EAE we are looking for. I think over the videos that was presented earlier, we are looking for passion. Yes. So here it's in June when you come for the application, right? So you'll be coming to sit for a test. That is an MCQ test, 50 questions, ranging from 30 to 50 questions. You have to sit in, and you have to pass at least 70% of the MCQs before you are shortlisted for an interview. So the MCQs will ranging from industry knowledge to mathematics, to some form of situational awareness and general knowledge about the maritime industry. On the interview part, we'll be looking at the criteria. We're looking into passion for the course, and passion for the industry, as well as a maritime career. Of course, we also be gauging you whether you have the potential to be a shipping professionals. Then your personality, whether you have the interpersonality skills, whether you are able to work in a team environment, as well as there will be a scenario-based assessment. So all in will be 100%. So again, like I say, is that overall, you need to acquire at least 70% in order to be offered the course. Of course, subject that you meet the minimum entry requirements for the course. Okay, so all right, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in June. Thank you. Bye-bye. Brandon? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Captain Ho, for sharing the interesting insights as well as the preparation tips for the EAE selection process. Now, I understand that some of you may have many burning questions that you would like to ask our speakers. But before that, let us listen to our other speakers and their presentations first. However, please do keep submitting your questions through the Zoom Q&A function, and we will address your queries at the end of this presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Solo Chulawi, course chair for the Diploma in Marine Engineering course. He's here this afternoon to tell you more about the interesting modules and projects that you would be working on during the duration of this course, as well as the available career options. Before I invite Mr. Solo to give his presentation, let us watch a short video on the DMR course.
Hi, my name is Sahan and I'm a Year 1 student from the Diploma in Marine Engineering at Singapore Maritime Academy, or SMA for short. It is one of the schools in Singapore Polytechnic. I have a wanderlust, and as such, I've always had a strong interest in the maritime industry as it has many opportunities for travel to many countries as a marine engineer. However, I'm also an analytical person and have always liked math and science, so I would say that this course plays really well to my strengths. I like to fiddle with gadgets, so one thing I really enjoy about this course is that we get a lot of hands-on training, from workshop exercises to engine room simulations. Students from the Marine Engineering course will need to go for a 6 months internship, either with a shore-based company or on board a foreign-going vessel. The seagoing experience will allow students to be eligible for the Class 5 Marine Engineer COC examination, which is issued by MPA. Students opting for internship with shore-based companies such as shipyards or marine engineering companies will be able to apply what they learn from the Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering Knowledge modules. Such realistic training environments will prepare us well for the actual challenges when we finally join the industry. A career as a marine engineer is definitely not a typical 9-to-5 office job. However, I am intrigued and fascinated by the prospect of living out at sea. In fact, I look forward to start sailing once I finish my studies and national service. Perhaps the life as a marine engineer is not for everyone, but it is an extremely rewarding and exciting career filled with many adventures, and I'm confident I am up for the challenge. If I could, I would definitely choose DMR again, as it is a unique and exciting course filled with many opportunities. See you at SMA.
Okay, thank you, Brendan. Good afternoon, students and parents. My name is Soro Chulawi. Currently the course chair for the Diploma in Marine Engineering. In short, it is known as DMR. Poly EAE DMR is open to graduates again. I need to repeat that to O-level students, final year NITEC, as well as higher NITEC students from the ITE. And again, for adults, Singapore citizens or permanent residents who have 2 years of relevant work experience. Let's take a look at the course intake and requirements. Now, I have to emphasize that the course for this particular intake for the EA, all right, just remember the code that is being used. It's actually course S63. Again, you can see the ERR2BC is that with an aggregate points from 6 to 26. Do take note that minimum requirement as far as the three basic subjects that you need to acquire, the English of a 7 and mathematics of 6, and one other relevant subject with a grade of 6, and require best of 2 subjects of a grade of minimum of 6. Now, you do have to take note, the fact is that comparing with the normal JAE and EAE, DAE has a higher cutoff points of a grade of 26 as compared to JAE. And that is the reason as far as the whole program for this EAE, which require the reasons of students having the passion and the interest for this particular course. Now, the Diploma in Marine Engineering admission, all right, also require that you need to pass your color vision test as well as to meet the requirements of the SCCW, which stands for the Standard Training and Certification as for the watchkeeping for the seafarers. Okay, Diploma in Marine Engineering admission, right, is an aptitude test, admission exercise that allow the students to apply for one receive conditional offers for admission to polytechnics prior to receiving the final grades. So this allows DMR the flexibility to select and admit students based on their aptitudes and interests, apart from the academic grades to meet the minimum requirement, thus allowing a wider range of talents to be recognized. That is where you see the difference of that JAE and EAE. Now, as far as DMR is concerned, the potential career progression is huge. The fact is that you can go on board as a seagoing marine engineer. You can work ashore as assistant superintendents in shipyards, and also involved with small and medium enterprise companies, engine makers for production. Like in Singapore, we have like Wärtsilä and Sulzer. And you can also work for ship management companies, right? Ship agents, inspection and survey companies. Now, there are also other areas where the potential diploma students can also go through, like, for example, companies like includes like non-destructive testing companies, which involve more together with the maritime, and also other areas that you can also venture out into includes offshore, as well as power plant and hotel industry. Now, let's take a look at the DMR course structure. Here you can see, as far as the structure is concerned, the diploma is a 3-year full-time course. It consists of 5 academic semesters plus 1 internship semester. Besides lectures, there'll be also workshops and laboratory works. Students will also be exposed to advanced ship engineering system, such as the simulators. The machinery workshops are equipped to train students for operational competencies that they will be required in the workshop, be it on board a vessel or on shore-based maritime companies. Here you can see there's a total of 155 credit units. Right? Don't get alarmed. Huh? The number may be big. It's actually, if you study, you can definitely do well. Where each semester is averaging around 60 credit units. 1 credit unit is equal to approximately around 15 hours of lesson. So on average, DMR course comprised of approximately 65% lectures and 35% practical. So the course modules consist of workshop, engineering mathematics, mechanics, electrical system, electronics, naval architecture, thermodynamics, and you're also required to do at least 1 elective modules where you have the chance to pick them from an SMA elective or poly-wide elective. Last but not least, we also require for the students to complete 26 weeks of internship training attachment, where this can take in the form of you going on board as an engine cadet or attached to a shore-based industry for a total calendar of 6 months. Now, with the COVID and everything, for those who are joining or plan to join Diploma in Marine Engineering, there'll be a different mode of learning. Currently now, we have several ways on how we can actually deliver materials or deliver to the students as far as the learning. It'll be in the form of a synchronous learning. Web and video conferencing technologies be used, where it can be live online or lectures via Brightspace or Microsoft Teams. There will also be a asynchronous learning on the flexibility of you to study at your own self-paced manner. It can take in the form of pre-recorded lectures, videos, audios, or lecture notes and quizzes posted. Not to forget, in order everything is not online, there are also classes where we have tutorials where students require much needed attention, where face-to-face engagement to be carried out. And last but not least, you can have the full view of the whole workshop and laboratory practice that will only be carried out in campus with your physical attendance. Now, more important for this whole webinar, let's go through the EAE exercise. Now, SMA has set aside places for consideration of candidates who demonstrate a strong interest or aptitude for marine engineering. Singapore Marine Academy will consider factors besides your academic grades and admit applicants on other merits, including demonstrated the ability and interest in the marine, your work experience for the adults applicants, your leadership or even community service and exceptional talent that's subject to the minimum level of your academic competence. Which means to say you, for IT students, you need to meet a minimum requirement in accordance with your CGPA. But as far as the O levels, your requirement would still be include your maximum allowable grade points. Now, this whole aptitude test is actually an assessment that is used to determine a candidate's cognitive ability as well as your personality. They are actually extremely common in course application and job assessment, as they can also be used to predict the likelihood of candidate success in the application. While eliminating any bias through standardized administration, you are also likely to encounter them in selection for all job sectors. However, they will be specialized to cater for the specific course requirements of the role. Aptitude tests come in many different forms due to the range of skills required for different roles. Generally, they fall into two categories, verbal and non-verbal. DMR uses both, where one will be a non-verbal test, such as numerical reasoning or inductive reasoning, where you will assess your ability to handle numerical data, patterns, and problem solving. In this slide, you can see as far as an online aptitude test will be carried out in the form of multiple choice question with answers, and you are to complete them in 60 minutes. Now, there will be a total of more than 100 questions that you need to complete tests in a time frame of 1 hour. In the aptitude test, you'll be tested on your numerical ability, logical reasoning, science and engineering knowledge, as well as general knowledge of the maritime industry in Singapore. So from the slide, you can look, for example, numerical ability. How do you express 0.125 as a proper fraction? Next, logical reasoning. Example, complete the sequence of the numbers 1, 3, x, and followed by 13 and 21. Science and engineering knowledge. For example, why ice floats? I believe majority of you do know why ice floats, right? And there's also, like, for example, trigonometry of sine 45 degrees equals to cos theta, so hence 30 degrees, what is it? Cos phi will equals to, well, what's cos phi? General knowledge of the maritime industry in Singapore, for example, companies associated with maritime industry, pick one, either OCBC or Sembawang Corp. So these are some of the examples on how an online aptitude test is carried out. Once you complete and you pass and you are shortlisted on completion of this aptitude test, there will be an online, you'll be invited for an online or face-to-face interview, which may take up probably around 15 to 20 minutes of your time. What is there to do in this interview? You are required to demonstrate your confidence in your individual presentation. Next will be articulate knowledge of the course, industry, as well as career progression. Third but not least will be the declaration of inherent medical condition if you have any. Okay. So the best way to prepare for such a test and to maximize your chances of success is to practice by going back to your school notes on maths and science. Example, physics. Practice will definitely help you to identify patterns, recognize question styles, and ultimately give you the confidence in your test-taking abilities. Like in all engineering course, a good foundation in mathematics will definitely help you in the aptitude test. Okay? So, on successful completion of the aptitude test, you'll be shortlisted candidates be notified to attend the above test. Now, as far as the verbal test, right? There's some tips here. You can take note. Introduce yourself to the interviewer and clarify who you are and your relevant expertise. This does not need to be long or incredibly detailed, but it will help you build an immediate relationship between you and the interviewer. It gives you the chance to briefly clarify your expertise and why you are worth listening to. This will definitely establish your ethos or characters, so the interviewer will trust you more and think you are credible. So the main body of the interview is about the DMR course, the industry, and career progression. Depending on the nature of your presentation or interview, you will clearly segment the different topics that you will be discussing and then work your way through them one at a time. It's important for everything to be organized logically for the interviewer to fully understand. So there are many ways on how you can organize your main points, such as priority in terms of by theme, chronological order, etc. Right? Main points should be addressed one by one, supporting evidence and examples in a way that will tell you how much you know about the industry, how much you know about the subject. And if there's links to be clearly stated between ideas, you must clearly state where you're moving on to the next point. So when planning for your interview, write a list of some of the main points you want to make and ask yourself, what am I telling the interviewer? What should they understand from your explanation? Refining your answers this way will definitely help you to produce a clear message. Finally, but not least, you'll be happy to declare if you are inherent sickness, for example, colorblind is one of the reasons you'll fully colorblind. You cannot be allowed to take up the DMR course, as far as it is also a requirement of SC2W for students to choose for the seagoing path. All right. In conclusion, I would encourage you to pick DMR as your first choice of study for a more versatile future in the marine industry and other non-marine industry, for example, in the power generation plant or hotel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solo, for the presentation for the Diploma in Marine Engineering course. I hope our audience this afternoon now has a better understanding of the Diploma in Marine Engineering course, as well as the various career pathways that it offers. Now, for the third and final course that SMA offers, it is the Diploma in Nautical Studies. This unique course is the starting point of a very exciting sailing career that promises not only adventure, but attractive salaries, as well as good career prospects. To tell you more about the course, let me invite Captain Sawan Osman, the course chair for the Diploma in Nautical Studies course. However, before I invite Captain Sawan to proceed with his presentation, let us watch a video on the DNS course.
Hi, I'm Vinayak. I'm a Year 1 student from the Diploma in Nautical Studies at Singapore Maritime Academy, or SMA for short. It is one of the schools at Singapore Polytechnic. I've always wanted to be a seafarer, simply because it's just so exciting and different from any other jobs. A few of my relatives are also seafarers, like my uncle who has been sailing for more than 20 years. Their stories from their time at sea have always excited me. I completed my course in the maritime business at ITE, and after graduation, I enrolled in the Diploma in Nautical Studies, or DNS, as I could see a future for myself in this career. SMA is a well-recognized training institution worldwide. The training facility as well as classroom teaching provided by experienced lecturers are top-notch. I'm able to attain practical skills necessary for my seafaring career here in SME. I can only say that my passion has grown stronger since I've joined SP. We are fortunate that at SMA we get to be exposed to industry standard and state-of-the-art facilities. An example is the Integrated Simulation Center. It houses various simulators, such as full mission navigation simulator and the dynamic positioning lab. For DNS students like me, we get hands-on practical sessions at the navigation simulator. These simulations of real vessels will enhance our ability to make decisions when experiencing operational problems. Our lecturers, being former seafarers themselves, come with a wealth of experience. Yes, they are strict, as discipline is important to maintain a safe environment when you're out at sea. This is especially so for DNS students, as we potentially take on leadership roles as captains of the ships. The lecturers are incredibly supportive as well, and will always be there to advise you when you need it. In Year 2, DNS students will be required to go for a 12 months internship on board a foreign-going vessel. This will qualify us for a Class 3 COC for deck officers issued by MPA. Upon graduation, I'm confident that I'll be ready to perform and contribute when I step out into the actual working environment. I have been awarded the Tripartite Maritime Scholarship, which will be a great support in my career progression. As DNS students, we are given a cadet officer uniform, and this is what makes us special. We are the only students who wear uniforms in SP and we are proud of it. The DNS course is more than just a diploma. It is a career the moment you sign up. I intend to further my professional qualifications and skill sets after graduation so that I can fulfill my ambition of becoming the captain of a ship. If I had a chance, I would definitely choose DNS again, as it is more than just a course. It's my passion. See you at SMA.
Good afternoon, parents and students. My name is Captain Shawan. I'm the course chair, and as the course chair, my main role is to manage the DNS course. As you heard Vinayak, he said something about wearing uniform, and DNS is the only uniform. I mean, the only diploma where students wear the smart uniform, like what the officers or captain wear on board the ship. Okay, this picture shows a group of students, DNS students, and what Vinayak says is that it is more than just a course. So I would say that it is a career actually, right? So let me explain why. Okay, it's a career because your career is set from the beginning when you join the DNS. So this slide shows the career advancement of DNS graduates upon commencing their seafaring career, even when they are in SP while in school. Right. So upon joining DNS, the student, we normally address them as cadet officer. So they will be awarded the diploma as well as the COC upon successful graduation after the 3 years of study in SMA SP. So with the COC, the certificate of competency, our graduate or cadet will now become a junior officer and subsequently progress to become a chief officer and finally to be a master or captain. Our graduates can also opt for an alternative short career at any point of their career. So you can see on this slide, the extreme right column, it shows the career path if should any of our graduates who are holding the COC 3 or even 2 or even 1 as a master, then they can always step ashore when they intend to do it. Okay. So you can see on the picture there are some students, right? They are now graduates. So a couple of them already joined the PSA as the sea pilot. Okay, next, please allow me to explain the course details. Okay, likewise with the other diploma explained by the course chair, the various course chair, there are some modules which is considered as SP white modules, right? The blue and green are the SP white modules, which every student in SP will have to take them. And the others are the core modules that is required for DNS. And then those in light yellow, yellowish, they are preparing you for the COC exam. That means you will be issued certificates which are required for the COC. Okay, so for DNS, at the end of the 3 years, they are issued with 2 certificates. One is the diploma and the other is COC upon passing the MPA oral and simulator exam. Okay, so there are 6 semesters, and in year 1 you will be studying in SP, SMA. Year 2 the first semester in school, and then the second semester in year 2, you will be going out to join and sail on board the ship, right? So depending on the companies, you'll be assigned to sail any part of the world, depending on the type of ships and type of trade. So this internship is for 1 year, right? So second semester of year 2, you continue with first semester of year 3 before coming back for the final semester 2 of year 3 to complete the studies, your diploma studies, as well as your COC studies. Okay, although you are required to clock sea time of 12 months, it depends on the shipping company. Most of them, they require you to sail 6 months for one ship, and then you come back for a break before you join another vessel for another 6 months. Some company requires you to sail 3 months each time, especially like offshore. So you will be required to go on board 4 ships, multiplied by 3 months each. That will be equivalent to 12 months. Okay. Overall, there are about 30 modules required for DNS. And on board, while doing the internship, you are required to do correspondence course, as well as complete some tasks, right? We have a book, they call it the TAB book, task and record book, which students are required to complete with all the tasks while they are on board the ship. Okay, yeah. This slide is showing the activities that our students go through. Some of them are during the external learning program. Some are done on board, right? So they are involved in many types of training, safety training, maintenance, right? Navigation, how to navigate the ship safely from one place to another. Right? So on board the ship, our students get the opportunity to work with people from different nationalities, and all these trainings equip our students or DNS graduates with skill set that allows them to keep upgrading. And so I will now explain in the next slide. Okay, this is a skill framework for our DNS graduates. The red one is showing the activities or career path for working in the port, right? And then the blue ones are it's color coded for career path working in the shipping and maritime services. So if you pick any of these, right, you will be connected to any career path where you are able to switch from sea to shore alternative. Okay. So just now early on, I did inform you about our graduate working as sea pilot. Many of our graduates also working in the shipping company, in the operation department, right, as a deck superintendent. Some are working as a ship surveyor or cargo surveyor. Some even set up their own companies, surveying companies. Some even set up their own management companies, managing ships on behalf of ship owners. Okay, next I will now explain the EAE application process. Okay, basically it is divided into 3 categories. Portfolio 1 is the portfolio, and second is the aptitude test, third is the interview. Okay, for portfolio, I'm recommending that you have a file where you can keep all your certificates. Example, in your pertaining to your studies, academic achievements, your personal development, your CCA, in the uniform group, any evidence showing that what type of uniform group, or even C sports, and whether you hold any leadership role in your committee, right? in that particular CCA group or C sports. So these are important because you will be trained to become an officer, and you must be able to lead others when you become an officer on board the vessel. For example, the second officer or even chief officer. And finally, if you progress to the peak of the career, it's to be a master of the ship. All right. Second is the aptitude test. All right. So this is an online test, so you will be required to complete the quizzes to assess your basic comprehension, your numerical ability. There will be some simple mathematical quizzes. For example, what is the ETA if you are given the speed and the distance, right? Okay, so, and also maybe there will be some plane triangle questions, right? For example, cosine, tangent, and sine of an angle. All right, and then logical reasoning. Okay, and then basic knowledge in the maritime. So what do you know about Singapore as a port, for example? What are we well known for, right? What position are we in the world ranking, tending to container operation and so on. Okay, the last one is the interview. So during the interview, we will verify, right, what you have answered in your quizzes, and to see your knowledge of the field of study of the maritime industry and the ability to indicate interest in what you want to do in the industry in the future. For example, how far do you want to stay in the industry, right? And then a deep interest in a particular area beyond that of a lay person. Okay, so where do you see yourself, for example, after you obtain your COC3? Are you going for higher rank on board the ship, or are you going for a pilot job and so on? Okay, and who are the people who motivate you to enroll into this course, and what have you achieved so far? And for example, if you are in the CCA group, especially like, for example, NCCC, MPCCC, into C sports, these are the what we are looking for, because a person must have some passion for the sea in order to be in this industry. Okay. Okay, so with that, I end my presentation, and I wish all of you a smooth sailing in your EAE application. So I will take your queries during the Q&A session. See you in a while. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Sawan. So that concludes the sharing by our speakers for this afternoon from the 3 full-time diploma courses. If you have any questions, please drop a note in the Zoom Q&A function, and we will answer them during the Q&A session, which will be carried out shortly. Besides the interesting modules and experienced lecturers, did you know that SMA emphasizes on authentic learning to prepare our students for their careers? SMA's facilities include state-of-the-art simulators and the latest technologies such as virtual reality to let our students have a feel of the different scenarios on board a ship, both on deck as well as in the engine room. Let us take you through the facilities that we have at SMA through our virtual tour.
Hi, welcome to the Singapore Maritime Academy, or SMA, one of the schools at the Singapore Polytechnic. Here we are in front of Block T1A, where the SMA main office, classroom, rooms and also the Maritime Business Centre are located. Let's check out our first stop for today, the Maritime Business Centre. We are now in front of the Maritime Business Centre, located at level 6 of Block T1A. The Maritime Business Centre is designed specifically for the students in the Diploma in Maritime Business. It consists of 1 instructor station, 5 studios, 1 IT lab, and 1 debrief room. In this learning space, which is modelled after the offices of actual shipping companies, students have the opportunity to actively learn through role plays of various shipping scenarios. Students will be presented with case studies and given specific roles in their groups. Groups will be seated in their respective studios, each representing a stakeholder, a part of the case study. Instructors will observe how these groups handle the given situation and interact with one another from the instructor station. This experiential learning strengthens the analytical and problem-solving skills. Think critically on the scenario-based case study approach and develop strong knowledge of the maritime industry and usage of IT skills. Let's now head to the Integrated Simulation Centre, the building beside Block T1A. We are now standing in front of the Integrated Simulation Centre of Singapore, or ISC for short. This unique building houses various labs and simulators belonging to the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, MPA, and also SMA. Let's take a look inside. Here we are at the Full Mission Ship Handling Simulator. This simulator offers different realistic scenarios for training of ship officers and crew in a risk-free environment. Students will experience first-hand state-of-the-art technology employed for seafarers training and ship operations via sessions on the navigation bridges. The facility consists of 5 navigation bridges, 3 instructor stations, and a briefing room. The instructor stations allow instructors to input various weather elements, sea conditions, and types of vessels during the simulation training. Let's step inside one of the navigation bridges. The navigation bridges have a horizontal field of view and are fully equipped with the latest navigational equipment. Bridges are equipped with computer-generated image (CGI) system to create a highly realistic environment using LED displays. The simulator facilitates bridge watchkeeping principles and procedures, electronic navigation system integrations and operations, bridge teamwork and management, and other areas of training. Our next stop is the Full Mission Engine Room Simulator, located at the same floor of the ISC. The Full Mission Engine Room Simulator consists of comprehensive, realistic, interactive, and dynamic systems that simulate real-world ship propulsion plants. It is housed in a purpose-built complex to support the following learning objectives: exposure to the latest techniques in data acquisition, presentation and control, interactive experience with fully integrated and dynamic systems, familiarization with operational routines and procedures, process analysis and condition and performance monitoring, and failure management and loss prevention. We are now standing at the control room. Now let's explore the ship's engine. You are now looking at the engine room, which has 3 levels, which houses various machineries to keep the ship moving. Now let's move on to the last simulator, the Advanced Engine Room Simulator. The new Advanced Engine Room Simulator consists of a classroom with 1 instructor station and 12 student stations, which are programmed with 3 different ship types ranging from a very large crude carrier to a container ship. The Advanced Engine Room Simulator is the latest design that uses a very highly realistic scenario and environment to optimize the students' learning experience. This system offers a 3D virtual engine room environment with the standard equipment typically found on board vessels. Besides enabling the instructors to create normal shipboard exercises for the various types of operation in the engine room, emergency scenarios like fire or flooding can also be simulated realistically. We have come to the end of our virtual tour here at SMA. There are many other facilities to explore. We look forward to having you in person here in campus. See you soon!
I hope that the virtual tour has given you a clearer picture of the training that we provide at SMA, as well as the various facilities that we offer here in our institution. We have now come to the Q&A segment of our live show. Thank you for sending over your questions for those of you who have submitted. If you have not, you can still submit your questions now. Meanwhile, do scan the QR code that you see on the screen to complete the feedback form. You can also provide your details to receive more information on our courses and scholarships. For our Q&A session this afternoon, our panel consists of our 3 course chairs for the 3 diploma courses. So I would like to invite Captain Ho Tai Sang, course chair for the Diploma in Maritime Business course, Mr. Solo Chulawi, course chair for the Diploma in Marine Engineering course, and lastly, Captain Sawan Osman, course chair for the Diploma in Nautical Studies course, to make up our Q&A panel for this afternoon's webinar. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us once again. Let us now go to the first question. Okay, our first question from our viewer this afternoon is that, hi, if let's just say that concurrently my educational results does not meet the requirements, am I still able to apply for the early admission exercise if my passion for the course is there? And is it also possible to not only choose one option for my early admission exercise submission. Okay, so I understand from this question that the student is presently inquiring based on his or her passion for the Diploma in Marine Engineering course. So I would like to direct this question to Mr. Solo to address this for our viewer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brendan. For the question, my advice to that would be if the person do not qualify for the EAE admission, he or she can apply probably through the Poly Foundation program using an N or a combination of an N and her O-levels. However, if still do not qualify for the entry requirement, there are also other alternatives that if you still have the passion to join the Diploma in Marine Engineering, the person can actually go through the ITE program, where he or she can use the NITEC or the higher NITEC in order to gain entry into the Diploma in Marine Engineering. That is also subject to the candidate's age. As what we know, as far as most of male candidates, they are also subject to the 2 years of national service. So the student should take that into consideration as far as in her or his passion to pursue in the Diploma in Marine Engineering. Hopes that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solo, for providing greater clarity and insight for that question for one of our viewers. And we hope that we have answered your query this afternoon. Moving on to the next question. The question is, will SP find me an internship company, or do I need to source for a company on my own? Now, our viewer for this question has directed this for the Diploma in Nautical Studies course. So I would like to direct this question to Captain Sawan to address this query from our viewer. Captain Sawan, please.
Thank you, Brendan. Okay, the query about internship companies for Singaporean and PR, we will endeavor, will try to find shipping companies. Usually there will be some interviews done by the shipping companies for the students. So I would encourage that the student do well in their studies so that they are able to impress the shipping companies. Okay. For international students, they will have to get their own shipping company before they even get into the DNS course. All right. So that is the difference between Singapore PR and international student. So I repeat again, for international student, they have to find a shipping company. That means they have to produce a letter from the shipping company accepting them before they come for our interview. So during the interview, we would request for that letter. Okay. So I hope that answers the question about internship or shipping companies for their shipboard internship. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Sawan. We have another question pertaining for the DNS course as well, which just came in. And the question is, for the DNS course, will we be given a choice of which shipping company we can or will be interning for? And is there a bond with the shipping company that we need to serve after attainment of our Certificate of Competency Class 3? Captain Sawan, may I invite you to address this question, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brendan, once again. This question is from Indra Putra, right? Okay. So for the question is about whether you are given a choice of which shipping company. Early on, I did mention that if you wish to go for shipboard internship, there will be an arrangement for interviews. And if you have your own contact, then of course you are most welcome to arrange for that. If not, we will arrange accordingly. And usually the companies that request for interview will request for a list of students who have achieved certain GPA, and then we will recommend the student accordingly to the request of the company. All right, so once again, I encourage whoever enroll into this DNS course, right, to excel in their academic achievements so that they are able to join the company of your choice. Right? Okay, the second part of the question is about the bond with the company. Okay, it depends on from company to company. Most company would offer a shipboard placement. That means you sail on board, there's no contract whatsoever to serve after you complete your COC. But if you apply for the TMSS under the, as well as Singapore Maritime Foundation, there may be some requirement, right? Like a bond where you have to serve the company for a certain number of years upon achieving your COC 3. Okay, so it depends on company to company. If you apply for a company that offer you full sponsorship, right, that offers you some allowance on a monthly basis while studying, then most likely there will be a bond after that. Okay. Just to let you know, when I was studying, I was under a bond. So you can look at the bond as a positive thing because there is a career that is guaranteed for you as long as you perform your obligation to the company. Right? So you don't have to search for a company because the company has offered you sponsorship and you have a job that is, guaranteed for you for the next few years while serving the bond. Okay, so that's what I can share. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Sawan, for addressing that query from one of our viewers this afternoon. Our next question for this afternoon is one of our viewers have asked, what are the various scholarships that SP actually offers for our students? Okay, I can assist to answer this question for our viewer. So the scholarships that we actually offer are listed as follows. Okay, we have actually a variety of scholarships that are offered both by SP as an institution, as well as for our faculty here at SME, and even by our industry partners as well, which is the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore and the Association of Marine Industries, or ASMI. So just to name a few, which you can also find out more information through our SME website, is the Maritime One Scholarship, which is jointly offered by both SMA as well as SP. The SP Scholarship and the SP Engineering Scholarship, which is an institution called scholarship offered by SP alone. The Tripartite Maritime Scholarship Scheme, or TMSS, which is offered by MPA. The Home Award, as well as the Mendaki Scholarships, which are offered as an institution by SP. Lastly, scholarships offered by the Association of Marine Industries, or ASMI, as well as the Joint Polytechnic SAF Diploma Scheme, or JPSDS. So if you'd like to find out more information on the scholarships that are available, please refer more to our website, our SP website, as well as our SME website. Thank you. Okay, we have only time for one last question, and our question from our viewer is, what are the careers that I can pursue in future upon graduation? And this viewer is directing this question towards the Diploma in Maritime Business course. So I would like to invite Captain Ho to address this query. Captain Ho, please.
Yeah, okay, thanks for the questions. I think I have presented this in my presentation earlier. Upon graduation, our TME graduates are highly sought after. For appointment as junior executive in the shipping companies in the maritime industry, such as ship management, ship brokering, chartering, shipping agencies, marine insurance company, working as an executive in law companies as well as terminal operators. Yeah. So with working experience and exposure, our TMB graduates will take on managerial positions and even higher responsibilities. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Ho, for providing greater insight and clarification to our question from our viewers. I hope that we had covered most of your questions for this afternoon and that this EAE webinar has been an enlightening session for you, as well as an eye-opener to the vibrant maritime industry. We have come to the end of today's live webinar. Before you leave, please do scan the QR code that you see on screen and assist us to complete the feedback form as well. You can also provide the details to receive more information on our courses and scholarships here in SP and at SMA. Thank you once again for joining us this afternoon, and we hope that you had an enjoyable session. Have a good day and goodbye.